Hello and welcome to the premiere edition of Just Saying, opinionated, thought-provoking, and hopefully inspiring too. A show created by women for women and perhaps some of the men in their lives. A show wrapped around women's issues, family, work-life balance, healthy living, and so much more. We're going to introduce ourselves. It's our premiere episode. I will start. I'm Lelas, one of the 6 co-hosts on the panel. Some of you may know me from my long-running newspaper column or my former show, Simply Organized, books or seminars or workshops that I facilitate on the subject of organizing time, space, and goals for better productivity. Others may know me as an on-camera acting coach, as a former New York and TV film casting director. My Casting for Success lifestyle coaching formulas, got to get the little commercial in there, assist artists and business entrepreneurs alike to really perform their best, so whatever their endeavor is. Yes, I call myself a serial entrepreneur. I don't know else how to put it, but I will always try to fill my time jar every day with those things that bring me joy, and I think that's something that we will talk about from time to time on the show. But let's go meet the rest of my panel. We'll start with Erica.
Hi, I'm Erica Azarigian, and I own Ella Where She Shops in Guilford, Connecticut. I'm so excited to be invited to be part of this panel and show on a daily basis. I'm looking forward to getting to know everyone better, as well as our audience.
And you also travel for, you have a couple of different jobs.
I have a job, a 40-hour-a-week job as well, a corporate job. So I go from store to corporate and mom world too. So it does have some diversity in the world.
Talk about women that do it all.
Yeah, a little work-life balance.
And hi, I'm Cynthia Cartier, and I am an attorney and a partner at the law firm of Cartier & Bauer in Guilford, Connecticut, where we provide counsel to families, seniors, veterans, and small businesses. A lot of you may know me from my local political endeavors. I'm a public servant serving as the selectman in Guilford, and I've also served in the Board of Ed and some various other boards locally. And I have to say the clothes are awesome because they're from her store, so that's what I'm wearing today. So they're wonderful.
Too.
Yeah. And I'm also the proud wife and mother. I have 3 little ones. Well, my 12-year-old doesn't like to be called the little one, but he's still always be my little one, 12, 3, and 1. And it is a crazy world that I'm living in, but it's a wonderful, exciting world. So it's I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited that we're all doing this together, and hopefully we can do things to really start creating a voice for women and bring folks together.
Great.
Awesome.
And I'm Pattie Urban, and I own Comfort Keepers in Guilford. It's a home care agency. We take care of the seniors in their own homes. I also live in Guilford, and I have 4 children, ranging in age from 19 to 10. And I can't say enough about this panel of guests we have here, my co-hosts. They're fabulous women. You're going to have so much fun with this show.
And we should mention that one of Pattie's daughters is helping us out as our production assistant on set.
Hi, yes, welcome. I'm Stephanie Ariker. I'm actually the director of a local nonprofit here in Branford, just down the street, as a matter of fact, and we take care of aging adults. It's Orchard House. We're a day program. And as most of you can probably tell already, I'm not a native New Englander. I'm the southern attitude, maybe a positive attitude on the panel here, and I'm just looking forward to having a good time with my friends and other ladies, and we're going to have we're going to talk about things that matter, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to really kind of get some feedback from those of you at home too. Thank you.
I am Dodie Milardo, and I've worn many hats in my life, but when I turned 50, I decided to go on a cruise to celebrate my birthday. At that point in time, I was single. I went by myself on the cruise, and that decision changed my entire life. It totally changed my life. I ended up nothing was planned after that happened. It just all happened. I wrote a romance novel as a result of it about what happened on the cruise. While I was writing the romance novel, I decided to use it to raise money for charity. And to date,
mostly. The name of the book.
Oh, thank you. The name of the book is Penelope's Cruise. It's available on Amazon, and I guess that's enough of that, right? But as a result of all of the networking I do because of this book, and some of this is book sales, mostly this is networking, over $115,000 has been donated to charities that I support.
That's remarkable.
It's too small. I am on a mission to make that number much bigger. So that's
Excellent.
And so I've started doing more, working on more fundraising projects as I've gotten, through this. So.
And you went on another cruise.
And I went on a cruise that I was a book presenter. I did a presentation on Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas, which is the largest cruise ship on Earth. I'm very excited that I did. That was just last month.
It's a lot of fun. I also presented on a cruise ship, and not the biggest one, but Alaskan one.
It was
So fun.
fabulous.
Yeah.
What an
That's awesome.
experience that was.
It was.
Oh, wow.
And welcome everybody. I think, Cindy, to give credit where credit is due, I want to, give Cindy a second to talk, because really, this show was really your concept. So I don't know, what sparked the idea for it?
Well, I think it started probably after I had my son, and when I went back to work and starting to connect with women that didn't work, all of a sudden you start to felt this tension, and that sort of kind of lasted over the years. That we do often judge each other, and I think it sort of catapulted and escalated last year when here I was opening a new business, running for office, and I had a brand new baby, and along with two other children. I know. But what was interesting is particularly women would say to me, how are you going to do this? And I thought, God, if I was a man, I know he wouldn't say this. And in fact, speaking to other men that had similar experiences, never even got that question. And I thought, why is it that there's this sort of competitiveness or angst between us as women? So, and I looked around, and there really aren't a lot of opportunities and venues for women to talk about these issues. I mean, there are some, but very, very infrequent. So as I started talking initially to Pattie, and we said, we should do something about this, So one of the things I am doing is I'm writing a local column, thanks to Lisa, because she's a wonderful columnist that sparked an idea there to talk about issues of family and women and raising kids and balancing, sort of juggling it all. And I hate to use that phrase, how do you do it all? And I'd hear that, and I'm like, well, I'm not really doing it all. I have a job and I have a family. I don't, maybe I just don't see.
Yeah, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
And I think
that's how it started.
today we're going to focus on some of that, how do we do it all, that kind of thing. But before we get to our hot topics, I just want to say cheers to Just Saying.
Just saying. Woohoo!
We're following the footsteps of Kathy Lee and Hoda a little bit.
Cheers,
Click, click.
Our wine glass drink of the day is actually seltzer with lemon and cucumber.
Refreshing.
And I have to tell you, I was doing a lot of research on the benefits of lemon water first thing in the morning, and also the benefits of cucumber. It's really, I think that we should all make a pledge for the next few months to try to wake up and have that be the first thing we drink. Warm is even better, but of course it's a little more refreshing.
I'm in a panic already,
Right.
because my first beverage of the day has got to be coffee.
No, but
I can't have my
the coffee right next to you. How's that?
amazing.
I'm with you.
You know what I'll do? I'll put us on a group text and remind
There
us
we go.
every night.
Okay.
Put out the water.
We'll check in with everybody when
We're taking the challenge, Lee.
But some of the things, first of all, cucumbers help hydrate you. It's great for your skin. Provides extra vitamins, minerals. Brings down blood pressure. Curbs appetite, soothes the skin, helps your muscles, has antioxidant detoxing properties, and it could have anti-cancer benefits. But the real clincher is again that lemon water, as we were talking about. Lemon water reduces inflammation, it aids digestion, helps you lose weight, cleanses your system, keeps your skin blemish free. I know that as a casting director, when actors used to have to go for headshots, we'd always say drink lots of water, lemon, a few days before the shoot. Wow. Gives your immune system a boost, excellent source of potassium, freshens your breath, gives you an energy boost, helps cut out caffeine. And,
I'm with you. I ain't got that.
helps viral infections. And they say that really you should have it first thing in the morning. If you weigh less than 150 pounds, squeeze in a half a lemon's worth of juice into a glass of water. Over 150 pounds, use an entire lemon. But this should be done every morning, and wait 15 minutes after you drink that before you have your first cup of coffee or breakfast, just to give it the whole cleansing detox benefit.
Coffee brews.
So that is
Dog out.
I'm
That
gonna
is
have
going to
this
be
is hard.
our
This is going to
mission.
be quite a challenge for me.
Well, actually, and for me too, because in all honesty, I've had more water today just sitting here than I ever do.
Oh, it's so
I
important.
drink a lot of water, but I gotta get the coffee.
I have an app on my phone that reminds me when to drink
We're
water.
gonna come right back, and we're gonna get into our hot topics. First, we just want to say that for more information on Just Saying, show times, and upcoming guest information, please visit our website at justsaying-show.com. I guess that's how I should say it, right?
Yes.
Or like our Facebook page at
Yes.
Just Saying.
Correct.
Yep.
We welcome your comments, show feedback, hot topic discussion ideas, and guest ideas. Who knows, maybe you might be a guest on a future show. Look for details on the website, so please make note of that website. In lieu of having a guest today, because it's our premiere episode, our first show only, we thought it might be better to kind of find some hot button issues trending right now that are happening in the news right now, and how they may be affecting us and you as women, as professionals, or our families now and in the future. Something that I think the six of us have been really passionate about, and we've been talking a lot about this recently, and it's been all over the news, is Monica Lewinsky. Yes, she's back in the news again. She, after she did her recent TED Talk online, and TED Talk in Vancouver at the convention. After some 20 years of, I think, almost being in hiding, she, after her tryst with President Clinton, she's now speaking up. What are your thoughts on Monica Lewinsky?
It makes me nuts that he got away with the whole thing scot-free, and she suffered so much and so badly, and has gotten all this. She has all this shame and cyberbullying that she got, and
that was the very
wasn't
beginning
even
of
cyberbullying.
cyberbullying.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
cyberbullying.
That's right.
Yeah.
And she suffered for such a long time.
And her family suffered with
and her family.
Her family suffered a
And
long
her
time.
And
family.
she's, as a young woman of 22, I guess it was 24 when this
22.
all came out, it was so debilitating for her because, number one, it's the President of the United States, one of the most powerful figures in the world, and this is a young woman. But number two, more importantly, how it affected her psychologically and emotionally. I was reading a little bit about her, that her mother was on suicide watch with her.
Yes.
It was just the worst thing that this woman could have gone through. So.
And if you actually saw her TED Talk, that was
Yeah.
the one piece where she got really visibly choked up, where she talked about her mom and how her mom had to watch her mom and how it affected her mom.
So when she brought up the point, this happened when she was 22, and she had the audience raise their hands on, how many of you are 22 and made a mistake, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I mean, really big ones at 22. It's like, what was up with that age too? And then to have it, that's when it came out. But she was in love. This was, she's 22
and enamored with the president.
And the power
And the
And also, having met him several times, because my brother was one of his pilots in the White House, and I got a chance to meet him. He is charming in person, absolutely charming in person.
You can see that on TV.
and I can
can't
see
imagine.
how a 22-year-old woman would just take it all in, and just. And,
The one thing that bothered me more than anything at the time, because I was living in D.C. at the time, practicing law down there, and being a recovering feminist, I call myself, is I was like, when all this happened, I'm like, where was now? And I understand politically, where they align themselves, but it bothered me that they should have been about supporting women and. It wasn't, we get this whole thing about him lying or not lying, but it was more the crux of what she went through. And I've had this debate's going on for years with people, about what she should have done or should have known. But the reality is you take an impressionable young person and, if this was a CEO of a company, the CEO would have been escorted out the door at some point, or there would have been a lawsuit happening or whatever, and the fact that this was so public for her, but I'm so glad to see that she's coming out and she's getting the support. I think that's the key is that women are supporting her, and that's really awesome.
It's a great message for our young people to hear. Really, she should do this college circuit. I mean, I think she has a great career of her. And speaking even, because I do some speaking, as you guys know, Bill Clinton is one of the highest paid speakers. I don't know, he's probably just under Anthony Robbins. I don't know. but I mean, he pulls in about $250,000 for an hour speech. And so he went on to a very lucrative career after this, and she really went into hiding. She couldn't work.
What did she do in between? What did she say?
She tried.
I believe she tried to launch a handbag line.
That was in the very beginning.
Yeah, that was in the very
She
beginning.
ended up living in England
Yeah.
for a while. She did write an essay, I think, for Vanity Fair. That was, so she, was kind of developing her writing and voice.
She couldn't even get a job.
Yeah.
And then people say you should change your name, and I'm thinking,
Well-
why should she have to change?
Well,
you know
the
what I
thing
mean?
is that
Yeah.
either you stay in that and you don't change your name, and then you live with this
Right.
your life, or you take charge, you change your name, and create a new life for yourself. I mean, there's something going on both sides of the subject. I think it must have been very hard, even to make those decisions. I think she was probably very depressed for a long time and couldn't even be making those decisions.
Right. And we should mention that the name of her TED Talk is called The Price of Shame, if you look it up on YouTube. It's really worth
She's fabulous.
watching.
She's a
Yes.
fabulous
She's
speaker.
smart. She's
Yes.
well educated.
Well spoken.
And as she said, it was just before, it was at the big boom of the digital revolution. It was the first time traditional news was, kind of taken over by the internet, a click that reverberated around the world. It's really amazing.
Social media really hadn't been
Yeah.
born then, though.
Yeah.
There was no Facebook, no Twitter. Now,
Oh
you
my
can imagine
God.
now.
No,
it'd be
none
even
of
worse
it.
for her.
None of it.
The only thing, let me ask you some of the mothers here, though. As much as I don't think she should have been the sole person of blame in the whole circumstance and everything that went down, I have 2 daughters, and I also think there's accountability and responsibility for your actions. She wasn't a minor, she was an adult. Granted, the influence of the office and the prestige and the power of him, so I do think he's wrong on what he did. But I also think that she has to own up to her participation as well. Do you?
I don't even think that's
She
the,
did.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's
She admits
the
she made the
issue.
mistake.
I think the issue is that, obviously she did what she did and he did what he did.
Right.
But it's the shaming of the woman.
Right.
Yeah.
And letting this guy go on as a president and then going on
It's
to,
like Scarlet
to
Letter.
speak
You
200.
said the Scarlet-
It was. It's the
Yeah,
Scarlet
she
Letter.
did. She did. Yeah, she had it.
So
Times
that's
haven't
tough.
really changed, have they?
Yeah,
I guess not.
exactly. And speaking of that, that brings us to another hot topic: today's perception of women. We always talk about this just kind of off the set, but the new B word women apparently don't want to be called is bossy. It just seems that why is it that when women are confident and assertive, they're considered pushy and bossy, where in a derogatory sense, while men who are confident and assertive are considered great leaders. Is there truth to this? What is it about that perception of, is this changing?
The maverick in the world, in the professional world? Is that what you're saying? Is that...
I'd like to think, Lee, that it's changing, but as I said to you, what struck me is so odd. Last year, like I said, when I was, entering, as I've always run for various offices and such, I was speaking to a gentleman who was a state senator elsewhere in the state, and he has 6 children. He's a lawyer like I am, working at the time I was with corporate America. He was with corporate America, involved in many local things. He said, Cindy, he said, in all my years of running for local and then state office, people never said to me, oh my God, how do you do it with all the kids? And he goes, I have 6 of them. At the time, he had 1, then 2, 3. And I think some things have changed in a positive way, that we see more women. Obviously, it's common to have women in the workforce, but it's at what level is it acceptable for women to be at? We still don't have the same number of leaders. We still don't have the same, whether it's in politics or in corporate America or anything like that. So I do think we're making strides, but then when you look at look at history, how far have we really come?
It is moving. There is progress, maybe slow to the point, but I think 65% of new entrepreneurial businesses are women run in Connecticut. In the United States. So I think that is something. But Cindy, you had mentioned earlier that when you were running for Connecticut State Rep, some people, those that obviously don't know you, actually doubted your ability because you appeared to be doing it all.
Yeah.
You were starting up a law practice, running several businesses with your husband, being town selectman, raising children, having dinner on the table. Have people forgotten the saying that when you want something done, ask a busy person?
Really?
Really, have they forgotten
Well, I used to
that?
always say I'm not an island. I have a tremendously strong network around me, family and friends. It's not like, and even like my husband, like him and I have these conversations, but, like he would never like to be called Mr. Mom by any means. But at the same time, like my husband picks them up from school. My husband changes changes diapers. He gets up in the middle of the night. I mean, he's right there with me. It's a partnership. You know, of course, I still do a little more, but we won't go there. You know,
Oh, go there.
we have a little bit of
The question is, can women really have it all, or does that something go into sacrifice?
I think I heard a great quote. We could do it all, just not at the same time. So to answer your question, yes, I think that the reality is you have to first of all define what is all. Right. And if all means having healthy children and having your own pursuits, whether it be a career, whether it be writing a romance novel, whether it be, you know, fundraising, working for nonprofits, whatever it is that you need to fill your own cup. So I think that at the end of the day, there is only so many hours of the day, and how much you squeeze out of them is yours individually. But by no means are you going to be able to run a company, work 10 jobs. Of course not, you know, because there's only so many hours in the day.
No, and like I said in the beginning, too, I know I call myself a serial entrepreneur because I am involved, as everybody here on this panel, in a lot of different things. But I think the difference is if you select, and I always say, fill your time jar, your daily time jar, up with things that that you're passionate about, that you look forward to, because then it's not really working, you know. So when we added this show, you know, into our busy schedules, you know,
that's
it will
funny
work.
because I was being asked now you're taking on a show. How are you going to do all this with everything else that you're doing?
Well, and you have to learn to say no, and that could be a whole other, you know, day's worth of
other things
topics.
to make room for stuff I want to do now.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a good point, Patty. That's true.
Yeah.
I also think it's the perceptionally, like, you know, here I was trying to say, you know, whether it's you're trying to get a new job, right? So you want to impress yourself with a new boss, or you want to try to get a client, so you're like impressing everything. And sometimes, my husband would say, Cindy, sometimes you can be a little overwhelming. Like, you know, you're literally not doing all this stuff all the time. You know what I mean? You are.
He didn't call you bossy, did he?
But you're not. But it goes to perceptions, right?
Yeah. We'll pick up on that in a moment. I just wanted to remind everybody that our Just Saying mailbox, we're going to, each show, we're going to talk about some of the comments and feedback and hopefully answer questions from viewers. And remind you again, our website is justsayin-show.com. And please, if you have something you'd like to share, or if you have a guest if you'd like to be a guest, please, definitely contact us. And also, if we answer a question that you ask, if we answer it on the show, we will send you a Just Saying wine glass, these beautiful wine glasses.
Yes.
The logo in the front.
For wine or other beverages, right? Like sauce with your lemon water.
Or water that we're supposed to be drinking every day.
Yes,
Lemon water,
that's going to be our new challenge. Patty, what are some of the feedback we've been getting from like our Facebook site?
Yeah, well, we've launched all the social media sites, and we've been getting. First of all, we were getting hundreds of followers like right away as soon as we started putting it out there. It was really, really cool. But second of all, we're getting people who want to help us with the show and really rooting us on. I mean, I think we've all let our friends know, and the positive response from everybody, you can do it, you can do it. They can't wait to see it.
Exciting.
It's like so much fun, you know? And we even have people like wanting to do our hair and makeup and stuff. So it's really fun. And I think this is a good forum for us. We really need to have more of a say, particularly right here in Connecticut. So
It's sort of a Connecticut version of The View.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We can, you know, your
all right, who's Whoopi?
But
Too early. We haven't figured it out yet.
let's share some upcoming topics of discussion, some of the things that we've discussed that we'd like to present on future episodes of the show. And please, and we encourage viewers to write in as well, but you know, we've talking about education in Connecticut, the education system, the pros and cons with our schools. A big thing here on the shoreline and throughout a lot of America, I'm sure, is the whole keeping up with the Joneses factor. Are we creating a world of entitled children? The rising cost of college. Of course, I'm at that point now. I've got 2 daughters about to enter college. State budget issues may sound boring until you realize how it really affects your wallet, and you can speak to that.
And business, big time effect on business.
Right.
We've had a lot of viewer mail in just talking about living in the electronic age and how that changes the dynamics of families and children so attached to their cell phones. You know, I know it's addicted is really the word.
Well,
Not
and
just
adults
children.
to some extent.
Yes.
Adults. Yes.
Okay.
As our phones are going off during the show.
You're like the queen of the.
Yeah.
I love it.
But, and as far as guest speakers, anybody that would like to come on the show that has an opinion or an insight or a view that they'd like to share, please, we welcome you to contact us through the website. We've talked about even having some men on the show. I know there's some great Mr. Moms out there that are really doing their part in running the household as well. What other types of...
Well, I think too, Lee, even having men that are involved in careers or organizations that are supporting and helping other women. So what we hope to do with the show is to inspire you. I mean, really to see how, so that clearly nobody's doing it all, but people are doing some great and wonderful things. And it might help you in terms of how you manage your life to create inspirations for you and walk away with that. So that's like a big part of this that we hope that you'll be able to do that. So any topics in line with that, and we're going to have people talk about books and talk about endeavors they're doing, whether they're starting businesses or new ways of managing and juggling their lives, all in the crazy world we live in.
Absolutely, and I think just as we're wrapping up, see how fast our first episode went.
Wow.
Oh boy, that's how our first show went. We just want to mention that we do have our food donation because you can't have 6 women sitting around without, snacks.
Anything with cheese?
So
Actually, I'll take
our
the cheese
food
sandwich.
donation.
I'll grab another one.
Cindy, why don't you
So
tell us?
this is from G Cafe, Andre.
In
Right here,
Brantford,
G Cafe. And we have here today almond croissants, chocolate croissants, pretzels, blueberry pockets, a croissant apple with yogurt, so that's healthy, right? It's got yogurt in it.
Yogurt
An
and
apple scones, cluster cookie, so there's a chocolate flourless crust. Look at this. Oh, this is good.
Too good.
This
Oh my God.
so
Oh my God, that's really good.
Oh my.
And a cluster cookie. So G Cafe is wonderful because they really specialize in all of their homemade breads, and they use a lot of healthful ingredients.
You can
They're
get
right here
lunch
in
there,
Brantford. Yep.
right?
And they have all kinds of lunch things as well, coffees, beverages. They're located in Main Street in Brantford. Wonderful business in our community.
And we should also mention to our viewers if they have a great recipe that they'd like to donate and feature on the show, or a food industry business. We're very welcome to. We will happily take your food.
Yes.
They can post it on our Facebook page.
Yes, absolutely.
Tag us on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we'd love to have you
Message us.
come and be a guest and tell us, if you're starting a new food business.
So
Or
good.
starting any kind of business. I think we really want to put the
delicious.
spotlight, especially on some women entrepreneurial businesses that are starting
great,
out
yep.
there. And topics that I think are of interest of you as well. But
That's okay.
so anybody else have any final comments? Didn't it go by really fast?
It went by very fast.
This is so
Fun
much
talking to you guys.
This is so much fun.
So fun.
I feel like we have a lot to say.
Yes.
When
And
we
I-
met at the diners, one of the
Our
other
production meetings.
Yeah, our production meetings were at a local diner, and remember we saw Emily there a couple times.
Right.
Now I know what you were meeting about. So this has been in the works for a couple months.
And I think our takeaway tips for today is, as we wrap up our premiere episode, is we want to remind you that instead of trying to do it all, make sure that you are doing what you love doing. So finding your purpose and joy in life will make your days really not feel like work. So I think if we can leave you with that inspiration, and also we're going to try the lemon water challenge.
Yes, definitely.
Every morning.
We'll try.
Remember,
Okay.
first thing when you wake up.
I'm not too addicted to social media. I'll send texts.
But it was great. Cheers to Just Saying.
Cheers.
And
Have a great day.
we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thank you.